Hey guys, how's it going? I went to a swap meet. It's called Rice-A-Rama in Spencer, Mass. last weekend, and was there looking for old motorcycles. Did not find any, but I came across this. This is a Maytag for like a washing machine. It would sit on your front porch and it would run a washing machine back for houses that had no power. I don't know, 20s, 30s, right around that vintage. So the backstory on it was the guy said he had it running. He was at the show. And then it died on them. They thought it was out of fuel. They put more fuel on it, and it still would not run. So I bought it in a no-run condition. I thought it was pretty cool looking. I always wanted to go screw around with one of these, so I figured it is our opportunity. Little label on the front right there. I believe it's original paint too. He said he did the carburetor on it. I really wouldn't call it carburetor. It's more of a mixer, because it doesn't have any throttle to it. I think it's just kind of set up to run at 1 RPM. So I figured let's try to figure out what happened to it. Hopefully try to get it running again. And or we're going to take it apart and see how it functions. I was kind of thinking in the back of my head too, if we could possibly maybe put a carburetor on it and have it run like with a throttle. And then if that works, you know, go on from there and use it for something in another project, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. All right, let's go get set up, get you on a stand, and let's see what we got. So I shoved it on a, what do you want to call it, Lazy Susan. It's a turntable for a microwave. It was in a free pile, so I figure we can kind of rotate it and get a better look at it, what it's got. So it's air-cooled, 2-stroke, and that's the fan blows air across the cylinder. Keep it cool. This is the exhaust coming out of it. I got an exhaust system also that came with it. I guess that's harder to find than the actual engines themselves. It's got a kickstart. That's what this lever is coming down. It's got like a little cam. Get you out of the way there. Step on your foot. It's got like a little cam lever in there that kicks it over. And then ratchets back afterwards. So lock the gear in there, locks one direction. I can free spin going the other direction. I guess this is the air intake. This is the mixer. And for killing it, you pull this. See if it shows up. It's got a rod that goes across. It's got a tab, and it just kind of grounds out to the spark plug. And that's what shorts it out. A lot of the old engines used to have, you did it with your finger. if you missed, you kind of zapped yourself. Fuel tank is down in here. I don't know if it uses, because it's got premix in it, I don't know if it actually uses any of the fuel in the tank here. I don't know if this is open to the crankcase or if it's sealed off and it's a separate unit. I just don't have an answer for that. Maybe we'll find that out. And I would guess the magneto and everything is going to be underneath this cover and underneath this flywheel. I think this is the output side too. Whatever it would go to run would run off of this section of the crank. Yeah, because the other side is closed up, so you got nothing over there. So, decal pretty much says, you know, don't use it indoors. I think for obvious reasons. And I think it's got a gas mix on it. I think it says 16:1. I saw on it. Like I said, I've never screwed with one of these before, so you and I are going to go have fun and learn together. Let's go see if we, you know, lost spark and all that kind of stuff. We'll start working our way down. Let's get the plug out of it. And we'll kick it over and we'll see if it's got any spark. Does that light help us or hurt us? Let's get the wire off of there. Right tool for the right job. I think they made other things that this would run other than a washing machine. I think the one was like a that light spazzing out. Let me change the light out. Yeah, let's try that. They made a ice cream maker. And I think they actually started using them for, you know, probably whatever else you can kind of go run to. Like I would think maybe like for grinding grain. See if we could set that on there without touching it. Obvious reasons. I just kill that. And she's a little clunky, huh? She's got spark. Do you want to try just dribbling a little bit of fuel in it, give her a couple of kicks and see if it'll fire off for us? Let's give it a shot. Let's give her a little bit of that. Let's put that plug back in. And I wonder if we should probably take it off that Lazy Susan, huh? I'm going to climb up on a bench and give her a couple of kicks. It's gonna be slippery enough as it is. It's got a little valve down here, it says open and closed. And my guess is that, you know, maybe it's like open is more fuel. I don't know if it's more fuel or more air. At some point we'll take this apart and find out. But just leave it. Let's go straight up and down. Let's see what happens. If we get to run, we'll try to favor one way or the other and see which way it performs better. Let's give her a kick. Hold on to the ceiling. Look at spitting stuff out the exhaust. Try flipping that valve one way or another. Yeah, it's definitely pissing, it's like dirty oil fuel out of the exhaust pipe. I know I sprayed some in there, but might be just flooded. We'll try it a couple more times. It seems like it's starting to blow a little bit of smoke out. There it goes. Nope. I think whatever his issue is actually too much fuel. Let me pull it back. You see the puddle? It's pissing out. That's a lot. I did not put that much. I just put a little bit of squirt in there. And that's definitely looking like pretty nasty stuff, huh? All right. You didn't want to fire up right away, did you? What fun would that be? Let's get this carb setup off of here. We'll get a better idea what's going on inside there. Yeah, I don't know if they actually consider these a hit and miss or not. I want to say yes. A hit and miss is it fires when it drops below a certain RPM, and when it's above a certain RPM, it just doesn't fire off. I don't know if it kills spark. I would think that's what it would do, and then like once the spark gets over a certain RPM, spark goes away, and when it gets down below that, hey, we start sparking again. All right. Judging by these screws, this thing's been apart a few times in its life. I'm not sure where the serial number is too. We could probably look up what year it is. So I'm talking about the screws, how many times that's been apart. So let's go lift that out of there. Well, if that was fuel running out of the crankcase, that was a lot of fuel that was in there. A gasket, yeah. It's not break anything. Looks like it's all one piece. Timing is everything, right? Wait for that to shut off. I'll take a peek inside there. We're going in. What is that thing sitting down there? Turd of something, huh? Oh, it's like a hunk of silicone, or there's another. Some RTV sitting on the side there. The bottom of the piston, this connecting rod. Let's see if we can rotate that so that the crank is facing us. Come on. I should take the plug out of it. Yeah, let me get the plug out of it so it rolls easier. There we go. Let's go for something like that for light. Might be better. Definitely looks like it's a little on the hot side, huh? That crank looks like it's a little on the like rusty and burned off side. Plus whatever that booger is that's laying down. Let's go fish that out real quick. Uh-oh. I think I just dropped it into the tank. Yeah, it's in there if we want it. And it's got more behind there. So that whole thing, you can see it right now, you can see how much is sitting on the bottom there, how much fuel right in. Right down there. It's like a ton of fuel in there. I'm not sure if that should be like that. It seems like it's definitely over what it should be. Let's tilt it back towards us a little bit and we'll let that piss out back into the tank. I think we got to drain that tank too. That tank looks pretty muddy. I see like bits and pieces of junk sitting on the bottom down there. It's got to drain. I'm guessing that's the fill for it. Let's go lift that up, see what we get. Whoops, coming out all the way out of the tank. Let's go drain that fuel tank. Stop making a mess with it. You can see it's got a little drain valve right there. See if you can get that to come loose. Man, that's tight. We get a wrench or something on that. I don't want to roll off the edges. That hasn't been apart in a while, huh? Well, I was hoping it was like 1/4 inch and I could put like a 1/4 inch extension on it. But I think the edges are so beat up that we can't. I got a 7mm wrench. Seems close. Let's see if that'll get it to crack. Gonna fight us. I may take a little angle grinder and try to clean up. It's like the edges are all kind of rolled off on it. I would think that would be what we need to get on there, and then we can kind of, you know, yank on this thing instead of trying to beat up that plug so much. Let me go pick away. I wonder actually, can we just flip it up on end? Maybe we'll do that. We'll just flip the whole thing up on end. We'll try to come out with this plug right here. This should be the fill. Yeah, let's just do that for now. Then when it's up in the air, we could probably work on that plug. Let's see what kind of mess we can make. Come on. So I dropped the whole thing on the floor. Come on. That didn't make a mess at all, huh? It's like raining off the bench. A lot of dirt in it. I'm sure that didn't help things out. I'm gonna let's set it on its side now. See if we can get that plug out of it. I'd like to really rinse that tank out. Yeah, a lot of junk was in there. You would think that would be like pre-mixed, but that's kind of looking like that bowl was clean. Yeah, that might mess it up. Hey, let's get it on its side, get that drain plug out of it. Apparently, I got a little bit of water in it too. Let me go wipe this stuff up. That's a little easier to get to. Let's see if I don't want to hit it with a grinder for obvious reasons. I don't want to kick sparks around. Let's see if we could just like drive an extension on it. Yeah, it's going. About halfway. We'll go with that. Let's get a wrench on here, see if we can get this thing to spin out of there. Need a longer 1/4 inch wrench. I don't know what let go. I think it was the wrench just popped. Yeah. I'm gonna see if I got like an 8-point socket that's that tiny we can get on there. We need to give it a good pop to get it free. It's the little things that get you, right? There it goes. That was easy. Alright. I'm gonna lay it back down. We'll let whatever sludge is in it try to pop out of it. I threw the plug back in there, so while I'm flipping it over, it's not pissing everywhere. Nothing. I wonder if we could like rinse it with something. Anything? I'm gonna go peek in that tank real quick. These bore lights are a little less intrusive. Let's see what we got. I don't know where that booger went either. That thing that fell out of the inside of the engine. Yeah, something like some kind of mud right there. There's our booger. It's falling apart on me. Right down there. I'm gonna try getting it with a little claw, and I'll dig that out of there. Let's go see what we look in the rest of it. Yeah, some kind of crap up in there too. Where that is. And we got some more. Somebody went silicone crazy with it. Another big booger of that up in the front. Come to me. No, it's an actual piece of something. What do you think that is? I wonder if that's like onto the base of the carburetor. It fell off and then it just caused it to get really rich. Let's go take a peek on the carb. Let's go see what else is in there. Was that the piece that I was seeing? Looks like a big piece of crud. Yeah, we should probably maybe unbolt it. Let me trying to get it without, probably just gonna crush when I go to get it. There we go. What's that? Like maybe old gasket? Yeah, it's crumbling apart now. Damn. Is that it? Let's go look on the base of that carburetor, see if that's where that fell off of. That would kind of make sense, wouldn't it? So here's the base of that carb. I don't know. You think that's another one of, probably another one of those, huh? Maybe like an old one? Is that on thread? Huh. Comes with spare parts. Yeah. So I would say this was just one of those that was left behind. This one must have rebuilt it or found a part or lost a part or didn't realize where it was. Maybe it was running and it fell off inside the tank and it wasn't running right. And then somebody went and bought a carb kit because this definitely looks clean, doesn't it? And that gasket wasn't so bad. I don't know, you want to take this apart? Try to figure out what's in it? Let's go do that. Go on the bench. Alright, let's go see what makes this thing tick. It's got a little tab bent over here. That's not seem like it's doing very much. Is that hand tight? Yeah. I see a set screw there. Let's go pop that out. Again, it's like they call it a mixer, not a carburetor. It doesn't adjust. You could adjust the air fuel mix, I think, but you don't adjust the RPMs with it. I don't see anything. Let's get a wrench for that. Yeah, get a little wrench on there. Come on. All right, guys. Anything's gonna be in it. I'm thinking like a big jet, like little holes on the side of it. Might be just like an access plug allowing you to Got a spring in there. Yeah. Put that back like it was. Get rid of that. Let's see what this thing does. Uh-oh, which way was that? That was facing us, right? Yeah. I'm gonna say that does something like that. Anything else? What was that set screw doing? Holding that assembly in there? And what does this do? I think this had it threaded earlier, right? Take that out. Sounds like there's something in there. Like a check ball or something. And that just looks like a brass insert. I don't know if that pops out of there or not. And if it's even necessary to do so. I see a little hole running to the side there, but I see a lot of crap too. See all the dirt that's in it? This is probably set up. We should probably just count like how many threads. There's got to be a window that it works, right? Because when it was on the machine, you're only allowed, it only had the capacity of turning it from there to there. So let's go inward. We're gonna go count it. One turn. All right. Let's get rid of it. Oh yeah. I thought the nuts are spinning on top. There's the choke there. Yeesh. Yeah, so that should be the fuel metering, but like I said, I think we were getting too much fuel. I don't know if there's any other. Let's go take that apart. And something's in there moving around. I think we could probably get maybe 2 of these on there. Yeah, let me go grab another pair of these. All right. 3 clicks. Yeah, go 3 clicks. Anything is in there. I'm gonna go with like a check ball. Something's got to stop it from draining out, right? It's like a diaphragm. Yeah, just like a little flat plate with a notch in it. And what would that do? Normally, so it would sit on it like that. Look at the dirt that's on it. It would sit on it like that. It would draw fuel up. And then when the pulse went away, it would block the passage back off again. So my guess is that's what it does. Don't know why it's got that little cutout in it. See, it's like a letter D. All right, anything else you want to take apart? And what's this? Kind of the same idea, but lower. So this for air. What would, so if that was like that, what passage is that opening up? And it's got a bunch of crap on it too, huh? So let's just clean this stuff up. Maybe we'll put it back together. I see, I don't know what that hole is there. I don't know if it draws it through the center. I would think so. I'm gonna go, that's got a lot of mud in it. I'm gonna go blow through that and see if it comes out of here. Yes, it does. All right, so I'm gonna go rinse all this stuff, clean it, and as far as the gas tank is concerned, gotta watch. I made that mistake once before. I think I used like acetone or something, or lacquer thinner, and I guess there was like a paint inside the gas tank, and I took it all off, but the paint was to seal the casting because it's very porous. It's cast iron. So, all right, let's go rinse that out and see if anything happens. Oof. So, how would the engine get air? My guess is that's got to be the air intake, right? This is drawing fuel up, and this space go into the combustion chamber, and it draws an air-fuel mix through this tube, or this one behind it, and it kind of mixes with it. Let's go take a look on the engine. Yeah, so it looks like this all gets sealed off. So this is on there. And that just looks like, this hole just looks like it's access to grab the rod bolts on it. And then this would be the intake through the bottom port, right? And then you just, that lever that we saw just kind of made the mixture rich and lean to get it go. If we wanted to put a carburetor on it afterwards, maybe. I wonder if we can make a I wonder if we just use this. If we seal it all off, put a carburetor on this, and we're getting ahead of ourselves, but let's just put it back together. We see what we get, see if it'll run. And it'd be nice to go from, you know, a running condition and then try to go play with it. But let's just see, see if we're going to do what she's supposed to do first. Yeah, put it back together. I believe that valve that we just put in, I think that's for air. It's like a check valve for air. For first version of like a reed valve. So it has like, because this is the air chamber. This is all the intake that comes in. And the only thing that's there is this little spring-loaded plunger, and that's the passage. So here's the air intake coming in and going into the engine, and then it has this like valve and seat that run against each other. And that, come on, fumble fingers. And that just makes like a little doorway down inside there with a plunger. Probably every time the piston goes up, creates a vacuum under the crankcase and draws a charge of air and fuel up through here. And then this dips down into the fuel tank and sips up whatever amount of fuel. Why is that not threading? That sips up however amount of fuel. Let me go take this out. Maybe it's running into it. That should have maybe not been first. Yeah. And then we meter that. Here it goes. There's a hole in the side of that? No, just threads. Are you putting it in the right hole? There's your problem. Goes in that one. I know somebody was yelling at me right now. So what does that one do then? Because that's not high enough to suck up, drop anything. I don't know. Would you mix air? What would you mix? And we went all the way and back one turn, right? So locks up there and then back one. So that's drawing fuel up. This, I wonder if it's kind of like mixing air and fuel between those two ports. And then we had the set screw. I think that set screw just held that barrel, the higher up part of that air intake, just locked that barrel into place. I wonder if that's adjustable too, if we're able to move that barrel up and down on the air intake. So I'm going to go throw wrenches on this stuff, and we'll tighten everything back up. I'm not going to bend that tab over yet. We'll leave this the way it is, and we'll see if it works for us. I have a feeling it might be in here again. All right, let's go throw this back on the machine. I got to mix up some fuel. We need 16 to 1, I think was what we're supposed to do, and that's just going to use like a regular motor oil is what they did back then. So we'll give that a shot. So I don't know how well we're going to be able to see inside there, but I'm getting ready to put it back together, and I'm looking. So this is the bottom of the crankcase. You get an air fuel mix inside here. As the piston comes down, it pushes the air fuel mix to the top of the combustion chamber through some valves, through this passage. But somebody has really gone crazy with the silicone. The passage is half blocked off with that on both sides. Let's get that. Those boogers out of there. I'm sure that's not helping things neither. It's got enough restriction as it is. Can we get it? Might be better with like a hook. Come on, there we go. There you go. Bits of it. I don't want to knock it forward. Come on out of there. Ah, I just dropped the hook in there. Well, you get the idea. I think I want to get you guys for standing where I need to be. I know you want to see, but yeah, I'm gonna have to get in there. I can get in there behind you with a hook and pull that last booger towards us, kind of clean up that port a little bit. Yeah, they went crazy with that stuff, huh? It's everywhere. Come to me. Down inside the piston, I'll blow that out. Let's get the last little hunk on that side off too. Well, he's gonna damage anything, but definitely a bit of a restriction. I'm gonna go tip it up on its end. I'm gonna take an air gun and we'll just kind of blow out inside here, try to get it out. We can get like a turkey baster in there or something, draw up that last little bit of crud. Yeah. It's a piece that we saw in the combustion chamber, the bottom of the crank. That was not that piece of metal that we saw. It definitely has more boogers to be found. It was just right there. That's over there. It's more of that crap. Big chunk right there. Death by RTV. See ya. But wait, there's more. What is that? What was that plugging up? A bolt. It's got threads on it, so it must have been like in a bolt hole, and they ran the bolt in and it sealed it up. Wait, there's more. Gift that keeps on giving. And there's more. I got one broken in half. I think there was more on it. I think that was what's sealing around the outside of the case that squeezed into the inside. Who needs gaskets? Hopefully this is the last of it, still connected. Problem is I don't think this stuff is fuel soluble, so it's probably the gas that's hitting it and causing it to break up. That's my guess. No, still more. digging for worms. Yeah, so I'm wondering why we took the drain plug out and nothing came out. It's because the hole is completely clogged with that. There it goes. It just broke through. Yeah. That's why nothing came out of the drain hole. Yeah. You gotta figure this thing's been sitting around for 90 years. I guess your holes get a little, your arteries get a little plugged up, huh? And we're gonna have to go rinse that out because all that rust and crud I just pushed in there. I may just use like gasoline maybe. I'll try to like rinse it with gas. And I think they have like a paint or something on the inside of the ports of the porousness of the metal. So I'm gonna blow that out with compressed air again, and then try to rinse that out with some fuel, and then we'll put some fresh fuel in it and try it. I blew it out every which way, left, right, up, down. Bunch of other crap came out of it, like clear silicone, not just the orange stuff we've been seeing. Two of them are copper, two of them are steel. I'm not quite sure if the placement's correct, but two of them are different. And 16 to 1. So got 16 ounces of gas, 1 ounce of 30 weight motor oil. Let's go throw that in there. Doesn't make it look any different, huh? Well, I like the stuff now, it's got coloring in it so you can kind of tell. But I know we are. Now we are. Right on the money. Let's go throw that in there. Give her some kicks. See what happens. I was going to mix it in the engine, but I say, you know what? I'm going to end up spilling half of it. If I do that, I won't know what my mix is. See how this works. Is the drain plug in? I don't know how much that crankcase holds. Let's go check it. Might take the whole thing. Yeah, would be good. That way I can't see it doesn't have enough in it. Now, if I didn't do that, I would have spilled it all over the place. All right, let's go through that. That plug's got a little vent in it too. The fill plug. Got a little hole in the center of it just so it can kind of breathe. And I'm going to go dry up the bench. Get all the crap off it and fuel off of it. And we'll give her a couple of kicks, see if it does anything. Let's give her another shot, see what it does. I got that valve straight up and down again. I'm not quite sure where it's supposed to be, so. Little bits of like fire out of it. Try rubbing a board on it, slow it down a little. See if it clears up. Little bits of carbon or top you gonna stand? Let's grab like a welding glove, put it on, see how much drag we can put on it. That's what it's supposed to do in the closed position. It's where it is. I tried switching it over to open and it started breaking up, but it's kicking out a lot of fire. I'm hoping that the rings aren't burning up. Don't know if the camera's showing those sparks or not. Run like that a little bit. I'm gonna see if that clears up, see if all those sparks are gonna come out of it. I'm gonna go turn the fan on too. Move that tab over a little. There we go. I wouldn't say it's running terribly hot. It seems like it's doing like what it should be. I'm gonna go outside for a little bit. I'm gonna open the door, let this place air out. I got an exhaust fan running behind me. Hey, you know what I forgot? I said, came with a muffler. Let's go see if we can bolt that up. We'll fire it up and see how much quieter it is. I think the idea was like if you're running on your porch, you would just kind of extend this part of it outside. That's all it is for a muffler. It's just two halves of a shell. And I guess it's allowed to go puff out of those little cuts that are in it. Let's go shove that on there, see what happens. And we need a couple of bolts. Nope. I think we're in a lower level maybe. Maybe these, it might be the next size up. Let's go try these. I think it's bigger though. Yeah, next size up. Do I have the next size up? I'll have them somewhere. Those? Even got the right kind of like top moons. I don't know if they'll be long enough. There we go. How fat's that flange? As long as it clears that, right? Give us this. Yeah, we got 3 threads. Good enough. Get that bolted on. I'm gonna bring that lever straight up. I don't know if it needs it or not. Let's go see what happens. I may go to where it was running. Of course, it started on the first shot forward. Try it. What if we could hook it up to a drill and spin it on the nut? Make sure the nut thread's on the right way. That it's not, yeah, it'll stay tight kind of thing. And we go drill in a socket. I don't know if it flooded itself out again. There's a mouse nest in the in there and it can't come out. See what the plug looks like. It's pretty dry. I would say it's got no fuel. Then too much. How would you prime it then? I'm gonna try dribbling a little bit of fuel down the chamber, and we'll leave it. Seemed like that was richer, so we'll leave it like that. Dribble a little bit of fuel in it, see what happens. You probably can dribble a little fuel in there. Give her a go. I'm gonna check, see if we still got spark. Suck if we don't. The plug is warm, I can tell you that. Yeah, still got spark. Just no fuel. I hope that wasn't the rings and stuff that were breaking up. All those little like carbon things that were flying out. Let's go give it a shot in the ass end. Right there. Yeah, let's give it a little drill action. See if it has enough kick to make it go. Oh, fast. I think it flooded itself out again. Did the same thing it did the first time, because it's now pissing all that stuff out of there. The mufflers. Let's get the muffler off of there. Maybe it's an issue, but it's definitely bleeding out all over again. We could have issues that are going on inside there too, like the rings were falling apart or something. Let's clear it out. Plug's damp. I wouldn't say it's soaked, but it does seem like the muffler's putting a lot of stuff out. I can see the mist coming out. It looks like it's a fairly decent air fuel mix. I'm gonna take a torch, burn off that plug. Kind of wonder if there's a starting procedure that I'm just not catching. The only thing it has is that rich, that needle mix that says close and open. Let's go try it again. Let's go leave it. I think close was leaner. Let's go leave it at that. Can you see? You got a good eyeball? There you go. Good. Pouring out. Yeah. Even better. She's a blinking on one. Well, that battery's a piece of junk. think I gotta put batteries on my my shopping list. Back up, we'll put a glove on and try slowing it down. I think that jet's off a little bit. I wonder if we could loosen that up and turn that so we can get it in a little further. I think we just can't pinch off the fuel enough and it's flooding itself up. So I see it's got like a jam nut here. I wonder if we can loosen this up. I don't know if that's keyed to it or not, or if it's just, you know, flops around. Let's go throw some pliers on that, see what happens. So let's leave that loose. Actually, let's just take it right off. Yeah, I don't see any key or anything to it. Let's, then we can adjust it where we find it runs best. That's my guess. So I can leave it right there. We'll try to fire it up again and we'll keep tweaking this so it runs really smooth and we'll make that a closed position on it. Well, it's going to start up for us again. Let's go do it with the drill. Already sounds better. Got a bit of a delay. You make an adjustment, it takes a second for it to make a change. That seems pretty good right there. Keep going until it fails. Loves getting hot. Feels like it's making more power there too. Right there. Yeah, right there. All right, that's the magic spot. Not too bad. Had to go play with it a little bit and get it tweaked. So, was it like that? Or was it like that? I think it was like that, right? So we'll crank that down right where it is. Yeah, I think it's open and closed for fuel. I think it lets more or less fuel in. What'd you do with my other wrench? I saw you. The important part is not to let that inside one turn. There. Nice. I don't know if that muffler does very much. Yeah, right there's the sweet spot. Yeah, I think we were originally just getting too much fuel and it was screwing it up. Oof. It'll let us air out a little bit. He's right. What do you want to do next? You want to maybe pull off that flywheel, just kind of get an idea how like the governor setup works in it? Yeah, we'll let it air out and maybe we'll go play with that. Yeah, we're still clearing the air out. Let's hit that with an impact. See if that'll come off of there. There you go. And my guess is you should probably flip that over. I think it's on a tapered shaft, so you gotta get like some kind of pry bar behind it, get a little bit of pressure on it. And we'll give it a whack with like a brass mallet. Is that gonna go on there? Yeah. And try to get it so I don't smack the end of the threads. Is it loose? No. That'd be good. Let's give that a whack with a pry bar behind it. I don't know if we can get a puller on it. They should have kind of went. Maybe we get a puller on these 3 bolts. Should be all it's holding it though. It's just a taper on it. I don't know if we need not much to pry on. I was pushing between here and here. We'll work on it a little bit. See what we got. So I'm betting that is probably the governor right there, and you can adjust it by those screws. We go shut that fan off. We go set it down, take a better peek at what we got. It's a big ass coil, isn't it? There's a points adjustment. Looks like you got to adjust the points when the flywheel's on it, because the cam is on the flywheel, not on here. So run on that right there. Yeah, that's opening and closing the points. That coil's huge. Yeah, size of that thing. And what we got here. Yeah, so this is, I think the outside lip of this is what opens and closes it. And I would think this, either when it revs, so it's got a spring on it, and as the RPMs increase, it opens that up. What does it touch? So hold the points closed maybe, or open? When it goes around, it's hard to say. So this is the cam. There is no cam on here. This is the cam right here. It fires the points every time it goes around, and then what it must do after you get to a certain RPM, this gets centrifugal force, forces it to the outside, and that right here no longer ever opens the cam anymore. So that's how it operates. And this must be your point gap right here. This one, this fixed one with the jam nut on it. So that must be, you know, at idle, you turn that around till that sets the gap of your points, and then your point gap closes up with this. And then if you adjust this, should be your governor RPM. So the more part of the more tension. Let's see, how would that work? Yeah, the more tension that's on this spring, the higher the RPMs would be. Is that just like a thumbnail? A thumb screw, or do you have to loosen something? Yeah, I think you just turn it. I think you have to lift it up. It's got like a little cam lock in it. I don't know if you can see the V right there. I'm trying to do this while I'm holding the camera. Yeah, it's got a little. You can see it right there. Little notch in it that holds it into place. Kind of makes sense, or else it'd be running, it'd be adjusting itself. So I think we can figure out what year it is. I think it's said inside the flywheel. I don't know if that number, is that the same number as that one? What is that? 77375? 77376? Yeah. One number apart? I don't know. Oh, that's a cover, that's why. That might be a part number. Is there anywhere else on here that has a see one? So the type FYED4. I wonder if that's, didn't know what the year. I think they make these, I think the last year was like 1937 on them. I don't know if that's a number or a part number. Inspected by number 1. Hey, let me go see if I can go look up part numbers on this. These have been apart before too. You can see the screws are egged out somewhat. It's actually on the outside of the flywheel, right? Right there. And that makes it, I think it was March. Yeah, 7763. Yeah, February. Nope. 7-1 to 7-6. March of 37. So it's towards the end of the run. I think that's the end of it right there. Picture of the, that's a twin. Alright, I'm gonna go with saying that 1937. I was hoping it would say like 1924. We can call it 100 years old, but still pretty old. Oh, funky setup. I'm gonna go put that back together. Yeah, especially that governor setup. You know what it is too? You got that cover you could take off. So you could adjust it from taking that off over there. Maybe we'll go play with that a little bit. Try to get it to run a little bit faster RPMs. Blow it up. Let's go pop that cover off. Can't get in the hole. Probably should have measured it. We probably should be able to hear the difference, right? Yeah, so if we go, let's go count how many clicks we're going to get it. 1/2. I'm gonna say that was 3 turns. Probably look by the threads too, right? All right, let's get some junk off the bench. Try fire it up again. We could probably leave the cover off. Shouldn't hurt anything. All right, I got my Michael Jackson glove ready to go. Let's go see if she'll kick over with the drill. I'm gonna leave it in that where it was running. Definitely doesn't have a balanced crankshaft. Yeah, what you would do not to wash clothes by hand back then, I guess, huh? Let's go hop up on the bench and we'll give that a kick, see if it'll go. It does sound like it runs a little faster, huh? Not much, but again, that crankshaft isn't counterbalanced. So the faster it runs, the more it's going to shake. That was the bench, that bracket right back there for the tire chuck. That's what's rattling. All right, see if it'll, you can do it by hand? Yeah, I'll probably read up on how that air fuel mix works, but maybe when it's cold we can flip it back over. It richens it up a little bit, but right now. I like the way it works, you know, for what its age is. I'm going to try doing the math up top of my head right now. 24 from 37, so was it 87 years old? Something like that? 83, 87? Just write it in the comments. So I wonder if we can take and block off or just open, well, that little popper valve probably has to stay there, right? Because that's kind of like a check valve. But as far as like, I wonder if we could just attach a carburetor right to this and have it so that we can get rid of the governor altogether and just work a throttle on it. I don't know if that'll work or not. I wouldn't hurt to go play with it, right? Because like I'm trying to come up with like solutions that maybe we can kind of go use it for. For those that don't know, I built like a bunch of gas-powered bikes, all different weird configurations, different engines, different setups on them. A lot of like old military engines around the same age as this. The only problem with this one is how wide it is. Is there a tape measure here? I'm going to say that's got to be 18 inches across. Let's go. Not that bad. I'm going to say 14. A fat 14 going across. So the problem is where your pedals are, you know, this stuff kind of gets in the way of it. We might be able to get rid of the kickstart setup, and that would shorten it up to right there. Still kind of wide though. Yeah, I can't get rid of much of this. This is part of the crank with the threads. Also try to figure out what we can use it for. This looks like it's just a saddle that you can loosen up. You can move the position left, right, forward, and back on whatever machine you're putting it on for adjustment. You know, maybe to tension the belt. I think I saw a crack on one of them too. But on the lower section, not the... Is it right there? Yeah, right there. That ear. Broken tab right there. Oh. Okay, you want. Alright guys, I think at this point we're going to go collar. I want to just kind of go play with it, kind of figure out how it works, what it does, and it seems pretty good. Yeah, they're fairly simple. I could see if you didn't have a drill and you're trying to dial it in, that would have been a pain in the ass. But I think it was just, I think this would just set up way too rich. I think this is probably almost all the way closed. If we were to take this off, it probably only has about another quarter inch or so, a quarter turn rather, before it's blocked off altogether. But who knows? Maybe the fuel they used back then needed a little bit more. I have no idea. All right, guys, I'm mumbling. Thanks for hanging out with me, having a little bit of fun, bringing old stuff back to life, and just kind of checking out old technology and how it did. Again, all that crap didn't help much neither, you know. I don't know if it blocked up a port, or was it all the junk that we took out of it, you know. So that's not even all of it. There was more, and that other valve was there too, right? That little the other part that was on the bottom, the metal cap that went on the bottom of the pickup that was on there, that was laying in the gas tank too. No, that might have been what it failed for in the first part. Maybe it fell apart. They were trying to get it running, saw that it was missing, and somebody put a new gasket on it, and maybe that piece on the bottom was new too. Hence the clean carburetor. All right, I'm still mumbling. Guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Later. One more time. All right, one more time. Bench. All right, one more time. Can you imagine what your clothes must have smelled like after doing laundry? And that was like running underneath it with all the smoke and crap coming out of it. Probably made them worse than before you started washing them.